Hi there, I'm Abigail and this is Mostafa, and this is the second video in our series of general surgery portfolio. In this video we're going to be looking at quality improvement project. If you haven't already seen our previous video where we broke down the section on additional achievements and degrees, please check it out and we'll link it somewhere around us right now.
If you're new to the channel, please make sure you smash that subscribe button down below. Before we start, this video is sponsored by Suture Kit. Now, if you're an aspiring surgeon and you want to make a really good impression the first time you attend a theatre with a consultant, whether that's as a medical student or as a junior doctor, you need to learn how to suture. As soon as he sees that you can suture, they become very impressed and they give you many more opportunities. The link is down below if you want to check it out and buy it. Before we move on, tune in to the end of the video because we have a special free gift waiting for you.
Okay, so let's get started with this video, which is on quality improvement project / clinical audit. So first, I think we need to try and think what is the difference between both of these terms, because they're often used simultaneously when they're different things. So firstly, Mostafa, what is an audit?
The Healthcare Quality Improvement Partnership gave us a definition, and it says, clinical audit can be described as a quality improvement cycle that involves measurement of the effectiveness of healthcare against agreed proven standards. Essentially what that means is an audit basically looks at the current guideline, the current practice, and tries to implement that as best as it could. And then it creates a cycle or a second loop to make sure we're doing it even better. And if something went wrong, we can improve it to make sure that the guideline is being followed as accurately as possible. Now, this is very similar to a quality improvement project, but it's slightly different, and Abigail will tell us that.
Yes, so obviously they are slightly different. By definition, quality improvement project, this is a systemic use of methods and tools to try to continuously improve quality of care and outcomes for patients. So the difference between a QIP and a clinical audit is with a quality improvement project, we are improving the care, but not against a guideline. So there's not that direct comparison. Okay, so a good example of this is a major incident in a hospital, such as a never event. Let's think of the example of the wrong kidney being taken out of a patient. Now, this would be a really good example of where we could use a quality improvement project to try and prevent this kind of situation from happening again.
So right now what we want to do is describe to you, using this never event we've just used, a quality improvement project using the right criteria. It'd be really good if you pause the video at this moment just to try and think of your own quality improvement project to fix this never event, such as operating on the wrong kidney. In every quality improvement project, you want to implement a PDSA cycle using SMART objectives.
Perfect. Okay, so with a PDSA cycle, the P within this is plan. Now, what we want to do is we want to think, okay, so what is the current practice? Has a situation like this occurred before? Has there been something that's tried to change this situation? You know, just try and think of the current basically background between this kind of this problem as such. Then what we want to try and do is try and figure out what contributing factors may have resulted in this incident. You know, was like the ward too busy? Was there too many patients for the number of doctors to nurses? Was there not enough staff? You know, was there not enough time for the operation? All these kind of things you want to think of. Then after this, what we want to do is we want to assemble all the team. So this ranges from, you know, the manager of the department to the consultant to the healthcare assistant to the pharmacist to the nurse. All these people, we want to speak to everyone that is part of the department to get them on board. So
what Abigail just described there in a specific example of a never event is a root cause analysis. She basically went through what could have caused this never event from happening, and the buzzword or the specific term that you have to mention in interviews is a root cause analysis. So let's break this down. A never event has happened, and that's a patient has had his wrong kidney operated on. So now we're developing a quality improvement project using a PDSA cycle with SMART objectives. P is the planning section, and I'm going to use a specific objective, part of the SMART objectives. So my specific objective or my aim is going to be to never have a wrong organ operated on again. I want to do this by implementing two different checklists. One checklist for the ward, the nurse in charge of the patient, the junior doctor and the senior doctor or operating doctor all sign that this has been marked as the correct side of the organ being operated on. The second checklist is a theatre checklist, where the theatre nurse, the anaesthetist, the surgeon operating, and maybe the helping surgeon all confirm and tick in this checkbox that the organ has been marked and it's the correct one being operated on.
Okay, so tell me the rest of the SMART objectives.
So SMART objectives start with specific and then measurable. So is this measurable? It's a very measurable objective. We want 0 cases to happen. Is this achievable? Yes, it's achievable. Is it a realistic target? Yes, it should be very realistic that no one gets their wrong organ operated on. And is it going to be in a timely fashion? So we should set a timeline. And I think for this kind of quality improvement project, we should probably set a timeline of about 6 months.
I think an important point to note with the achievable section is it going to be too much of a difference from the staff's already, like the routine that they've already set? So, you know, marking on the body right and left is not a significant change to someone's routine because it can be easily implemented within it. Okay, so now moving on to the second part of PDSA, which is D, and this stands for do. Now, the most important thing here is just to try and create something which is simple, something that intertwines with the staff's routine already, like we've already described. Now, you want to create 2 checklists. Now, you want one for the ward and one for the theatre. Okay, so while we're doing this project, we want to inform every single member of staff that we can possibly think of, as Mozzie's already described previously, and so have I. And essentially what we want then to do is run this QI project for 6 months. Then we want to keep track of all the patients that have been taking part in this quality improvement project. We want to see if the staff have also been checking up on this and just try and get basically an idea of exactly if this project has been running well or not.
So finally, and this is a really important point, is to register the study with the Clinical Effectiveness Register, or basically the clinical audit department in your hospital.
So actually, Mozzie, there is something more important.
Okay.
Which is that you all should subscribe below and like and comment and share with any friends that you think would enjoy as well.
So the third part of this quality improvement project is the S in the PDSA cycle, which to do the study. So now you're going to collect the data. Make sure you collect it in a password protected data sheet, such as Excel, but make sure there's a password on it so that no one else can access it. After that, you're going to analyze the data, and then you're going to write it up in a form of an abstract and have a look at whether they're good or bad.
And as in good or bad, as in did they achieve the objective that you set at the start. Okay, so now on to the fourth part of PDSA, which is A, which stands for ACT. Part of this is presenting your findings at a conference. This ranges from locally, regionally, nationally to internationally. In order to get the full 11 points within this section, you need to present your data and your re-audited data at basically either a regional or a national conference.
So finally, you've presented the audit. Now you've shared your findings. You're helping other people learn what were the mistakes. Although you may have achieved your primary target, which is 0 incidents, such as operating on a kidney, was everything done correctly? Did everyone use the checklist every single time for every single patient? Because we know this is a key step that will allow no more incidents to happen. So if the answer is no, why was that? Were they missing? Were there not enough printed? Did staff forget? Did not everyone know about it? So what should we do? We should inform the staff again, as we've done, we've presented. What's really important is to just redo the quality improvement project again for another 6 months or 3 months or whatever you have planned.
Obviously, one point we want to say is when you're trying to design your quality improvement project, always think that there is resistance in every kind of aspects that you will do. And these resistance, aka limiting factors, could be things like money, could be time, could be staff, the number of staff, all these things. So you have to think whether the change you want to implement is something that is applicable to the system that already exists. Okay, so as we promised at the beginning of the video, we said there was a free giveaway. This free giveaway is a quality improvement guide. Not only does it, include the things that we talked about today, breaks it down a wee bit more, and it gives you 3 examples where we will use this kind of system and put it into real life situations that you can use. We've had a lot of great feedback so far, so we hope that you really do enjoy it and you get something out of it. If you enjoyed it, send us some feedback, comment below, and if you've got any kind of criticisms about it, please do not hesitate to send us so we can improve the resources that we give you as well.
Yeah. I think it's really important to actually sign up to this free guide because then you can read it and it'll be useful right now. But maybe in the future, when you come to run your own quality improvement project, it'll be a nice guide to just look back on and just make sure you design your project correctly. And
if the suturing kit was something that you're interested in, the link is down below. And if you get it, please send us a picture, tag us on Facebook, Instagram. We'd love to see you guys improving with these kind of resources as well.
So we've now come to the end of our video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. And if you have, please give us a like down below. It would really mean a lot to us and it helps build the channel, encourage us to do a bit more. And obviously if you're new to this channel, please smash that subscribe button down below.
So tune into our next video, which is going to be on teaching experience and training and teaching, and this is where you can rack up a lot of points as well.
Okay. Bye-bye.